Close and personal. Okay, we're live.
Hello, everyone. Wanted to thank you all for joining us here tonight. We're going to have I am Margarita de Mantua, Kingdom Seneschal, Kingdom of Ansteorra. We're going to have a question and answer session with the two couples that are going for the next landed nobility of the Barony of Steps. Her Excellency Kalina, the Central Regional Seneschal, will be asking each couple the questions, and then they will answer. If you have any comments, feel free to put them in the comments. I'll try to keep up with them. But then at the end, I will explain the polling after our Q&A session. Your Excellency, Kalina.
Thank you, Your Grace. And welcome to the candidates for the Barony of Steps. Okay, we've got several questions and there's 4 of you answering. So 2 couples, 4 people. So first question to candidates 1. What is the job for the landed nobility? What does that mean to you?
What that means to me is it's analogous to the head of state. It's not a power job. It's the job where you get to inspire the barony, you get to have a say in where the barony is going and help keep the culture of the barony doing what it's been doing, if you like that. And you have a great deal of influence, but the only temporal power you have is the 2 of you have 1 vote on the financial committee. But it's a great job, and that you get to put on the coronets and you get to hold court and you get to give out awards, but it's also a lot of work because you have to represent your group to the kingdom at large and the known world, and you take oath to the crown that your group, because it's not just us, it's Glaslyn, it's not just Steps, we have Steps and Glaslyn. You take oath that your groups will be taken care of by you and that you'll look out for them. So that's what it says to me.
And just to add on to that, while you're the cheerleader for the group, you're there to inspire, you're there to make things happen. The big thing is you're there to see other people do their thing and recognize them for the crown, because you are the voice of the crown.
Okay, thank you. Couple number 2. Same question. Do you need me to repeat it?
No. As they said, liaison between the crown and the people to represent to the crown the populace of Steps. That is a part of the job. The other part of the job is, again, as May so eloquently put it, we need to help the populace grow, help the populace develop any new traditions they see that they want to try, and uphold the old traditions also. We can have a translation from the crown come down, and then we make sure that everybody in the populace receives it. But beyond that, everyone who comes in to Steps new, we want to make them feel welcome. We want to make them feel as they're a part of the overall Steps. And then those who are been there a while, make sure that they're acknowledged in all the accomplishments that they've done throughout their lifespan here in Steps.
And beyond that, really, it's making sure that they know that we are there for them no matter what. I think that's one of the most important things that as Baron and Baroness that you can do, is just to let everybody know that, hey, we are here, and if you need us, come to us. even beyond what's going on that people see visually happening, if there's an emergency that something happens to them that may have to go beyond the SCA and go into, unfortunately, the public sector. I can't talk. Public sector, that they know that we're there to back them up.
I didn't touch it, I promise.
I'm in the area, so if it's computerized, you might have trouble. I seem to affect them like that.
Okay. Did you want to, Hadassah, would you like to repeat that last part that we got cut off?
If there's something that happens that may have to go beyond the SCA and go into the public sector, they need to know that we're there to back them as well. We've been in a circumstance like that where someone came to us and we had to take it beyond the SCA, and we were there for that person. And that was not even being a B&B.
Excellent. Okay. Couple number one, the next question is, how important are traditions to your barony?
Traditions are what ties the barony together. It's the heritage that we all inherit when we come on board, and passing that down becomes kind of an honor-bound thing because you're trying to honor those that came before you. That being said, also, you want to encourage new traditions forming because we're all more resilient and we're all more adaptable when we have new ideas continuing to come in and continuing to change the SCA for the better. And you don't even know about certain things that are coming in unless somebody comes in with an idea of, hey, let's do this. And all of a sudden you have the DEIB committees, you have all this other stuff coming in. Those things were new ideas that became institutions. And that's what we're trying to achieve, is we're trying to get those new voices.
And tradition is part of our past, and it ties us to our past and to the people who started this barony and who started the SCA. And it's not just the passed down trophies and the cloaks and the rest of it. It's also how we treat each other when we have our events, what we do at our events, and how we conduct ourselves. And while I do absolutely agree with my husband that yes, we need to start seeing, what new traditions form, I also very much see us honor the traditions of our past because, I mean, we have this vast well of knowledge and of people who've been here forever. And I love asking them, how does this work? What do we do? How have we done this before? I am out of ideas. Please help me.
It's also really good to have one of the old people sit back going, I wouldn't do that if I were you.
Couple number two, same question.
Okay, so I come from a culture that's very, very rich in tradition. And so this is me. Tradition is me. I just celebrated my 46th birthday in the SCA. We came to Steps in 2005. We lived here for 4 years and unfortunately had to go back to our old kingdom. It took us 13 years to get back here. When we decided to come back to Ansteorra, that's why we came to Steps, was because of what we had found here in Steps. That was our goal when we knew we were coming back to Ansteorra, because of how rich Steps was in its traditions. And yes, I love bringing new ideas in, but there are just some things that you have to have. You have to have those people that can say, this is what the SCA is about. This is what Steps is about. Bring it up. Bring something new. Let's see if it happens. And if it doesn't, oh well.
How do you expound on that? Okay. Wow. Okay. That was a little lost for words there. Doesn't usually happen. Traditions are important. Some traditions they start and then they go by the wayside because something happened. They weren't fully worked out, so they didn't become a tradition. But in the time that we spent in steps, there have been some very rich traditions that we've seen. We love the traditions here in steps, and I've also noticed that with the newer, younger crowd coming in, they have some ideas for traditions, for things to start that can very well become traditions. And I think that's important also, is take a look, see if it works. If it works, great, it becomes a tradition. We do it year after year. If it doesn't quite add up, then okay, let's go on to the next one. Let's see what might be added. But 50 years of steps, traditions, it's quite strong.
Okay. Couple number 2. I'm going to start with you. My next question is very simple. How often do you currently attend meetings and work days and events?
With the exception of the month of March, when we were down to one car. I'm at practice every week because of ANS. We go to events at least once to twice a month, especially within this last little over a year when I was on Entourage. He's just now getting back into archery practice. He doesn't fight, so we're there mostly for the ANS and to support the fighters. It's been a crazy ride since we came back. I've gotten to see more of Texas and Oklahoma than I've ever seen in my life. But I'm loving it. I've gotten to be so much more active than I've been in a few years. And it's crazy. But it's been a great ride, and I'm absolutely loving it. This next year is going to be even crazier, and we will probably be at events almost every weekend, plus weekly practices.
Okay.
I don't know what to add to that.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure if you had anything to add. Couple number 1, same question.
He is a practice to both teach and practice his own rapier skills. I'm currently, leading is a strong word, sort of herding the music group and teaching new musicians. So I'm there. I do that every other week so that I have off weeks to do other ANS stuff and to hang out with people. I know that, there's a knitting group. I like to get to that if I can, and to watch what people are doing and to see everyone. We are also, if there is a load in or a load out, to get everything in and out of that, in and out of the storage, I'm pretty sure our cars can find their own way there. And to make sure that we can travel more, we bought an RV last summer so that we are not in a tent anymore, because I'm not sleeping on the ground anymore. I'm not young anymore. And we
know where the party is.
We're doing at least 2 events a month right now, and we're having a great time. I am also seeing more of Oklahoma than I had seen for some time, and it's a nice place with a lot of very exciting events going on and some lovely young people.
Yeah, we're traveling a lot more, which is nice, but the month of March with Gulf War and everything else led to where instead of twice or 3 times a month, we were doing 4 weekends in a row, and my laundry started to call my name.
Well, more to the point, it was following you. It was terrifying.
It was terrible.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, this is a kind of a two-part question. I'm going to start with couple number one. If you're part of a household or belted, what steps will you take to ensure that your household or belted affiliations do not influence your decision, ensuring that those who are not affiliated are not outweighed or by personal bias? That was a mouthful.
Both of our various peers spoke to us when we were belted, and also in his case scarved, about this very kind of thing, because they're people with a background in leadership in SCA, and they said, look, it's like my laurel / pelican is Miss Rossini. And she said, look, there may come a time when you need to take the belt off because you have other concerns and you have something else that you're in fealty to. If y'all, because she was like, someday y'all might run for landed. You need to know what to do if that's sooner than you think. And I avowed that Kat and Val looked like they were going to do this forever, and I wasn't going to worry about that. And here we are. But she said, no, it's she told me, take off your belt, be in fealty to the crown, support your barony. And while there are households associated with both of our paths, these are people who know what's going on, and they know the score, and so do we. And I mean, I was a local and a regional seneschal. I had to learn to deal with my personal biases because I had to learn to treat people the same. And I hope I did a good job, and I hope to continue to.
Well, the big thing is the barony supersedes your paths. Yes, you can be on the same paths, and maybe you get a little more notoriety because, oh my God, the Baron actually does that. But for the most part, the barony is your first and foremost focus. I might get to fight pickups because I'm going to be too busy trying to watch it to find out who actually wins the tournament in front of me so I can make appropriate rewards for them or recommendations to the crown. But your duty to the crown supersedes your duty to the peers.
Couple number two, do you need me to repeat that question?
No, I'm fine.
Okay.
My pelican is actually in Trimaris. It's Duchess Larissa Clairwood, and she has actually encouraged me to do this. There's actually no fealty sworn. We've been friends for over 40 years, so it's been more of a mentor relationship than a fealty. And she's there no matter what questions I have to ask. She's there for me. And she's encouraged this. And the only other possible circumstance for me, I have discussed, and that's for a Laurel relationship. And it's already been decided that there will be no fealty sworn, so that it doesn't affect anything with the position.
Torkel? Yes, your turn.
Well, I can honestly say I have no sworn fealty to anyone. It's steps and the crown. And there's no, at this time, no future looking out to see any pelicans or laurels that I can attach to. So for me, that's not a problem. I don't have a problem with that at all. It's for the barony and for the crown, the Ansteorra, that I'm doing this. And what I say, I just no fealty.
Okay, thank you. Couple number two. My next question is, with all the changes in the DEI, and I think it's DEIB now, I didn't look that up, that's my fault. What steps would you take to make sure everyone is welcome.
DEI is, and actually DEIB for the SCA, is very, very near and dear to my heart. And we have the diversity. One of the most important parts at this point that I can see is keeping that feeling of inclusion and belonging. Being on a personal basis, being a person with physical disabilities, it's really important to make sure that sites are safe for those people who may not be able to get around as well as others. So that's something that for me is very important to touch on. To me, it's very important that we make sure that everybody feels safe no matter what site they're at. And I'm not including just people with physical disabilities, but anybody who has to go to those sites. Inclusiveness is for everybody. In a conversation that I had with Charles de Bourbon, he and I talked about the fact that there's a lot of poorly done DEI that has to be undone and redone to make sure that it's done correctly. And I'm really looking forward to seeing the new handbook so that we can take care of what has to be corrected and get it corrected and taken care of.
Honorable Lord Dorkel?
Oh, darn it.
Yeah.
DEIB. What can I say about DEIB that she hasn't already said? New people are coming into the Barony all the time from very diverse backgrounds, and they're all welcome. They should be. As the Baroness job would be to look out and make sure that somebody's not being picked on or judged, bullied. And if they have a problem, they're there to help correct that problem. This part of the job, I would think, is being a landed barons and baronesses. DEIB, it covers a very wide range of things that I have seen, not just in the SCA, but I've seen in my company. It's a pendulum swing. They will go from total acceptance, and then somebody will try to swing back, and it's our duty to try to keep it on a level playing field so that it goes smoothly through.
I've also had to be teaching this at my work as well, so
Okay,
a lot of understanding.
understand. Thank you. Couple number one, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I think we got it.
Okay.
It's really been something, especially, as far as the SCA has come with so many aspects of diversity and inclusion. It's been great being in STEPS because STEPS has been so much of a part of that in this kingdom. Because here's who we want to be. We want STEPS to be a safe place, not just physically for you let's make sure that our sites are accessible to people even with hidden disabilities. But let's also make sure that we are inclusive to people and they feel safe coming to us as who they are. And they're not going to feel unsafe because of who they are. And I mean, my viewpoint is we sometimes, call the Baron and Baroness Steps Mom and Steps Dad. Nobody bullies our kids.
Yeah.
We're here to have a safe space for the kids and for everybody else too. And we need to listen to people. When somebody says, hey, this is a problem, you don't say, well, that's not a problem for me, so I don't think it's a problem. You say, oh, tell me about how I can make that better. Because you also need to look at your own privilege and go, that's not a problem to me, and this is plainly a problem to other people, and I can't see it. We have to listen to the people who need whatever the accommodation or the inclusion is, because it can't just be us saying, oh yeah, we think we've got it. It's got to be looking outward and asking people, what don't we have? What don't we know? And acting on that.
The big thing for me is when Sarah and Pete, when I found the SCA again after so many years, the first thing they said is welcome home. And that's the kind of feeling that I want to portray. I want you to be a part of a family, and the good kind, not the one with the drunken uncle. But what I want to see is I want to see people that are met where they're at. If they're coming in and they have their pronouns, respect them by using their pronouns. If people are able to look at different cultures, like we have people that are doing Mesoamerican cultures and that now in the SCA, instead of just being Eurocentric, all that builds our ability to innovate and also to allow us to stretch our boundaries so we can include more people. The SCA is what they make it, but our job is to keep them a safe environment where everybody coming in can be respected, can be asked what their idea of a safe SCA is. One of the things we want to do is do a committee of folks that actually have hidden disabilities, physical disabilities. I used to work in physical therapy, but I can't find all the spots where a walker can't go up because of a stair or a curb or something that's just happened. If we have sites, we need to make sure we go over the sites to make sure they're accessible for everybody.
Because remember, it's not just, you can't say I'm not disabled without the word yet coming into it. We're all going to get old. We're all going to need more than we've got.
We don't need to give up the SCA just because we have a limitation. Those limitations should be addressed so everybody can play.
We want to make sure people can continue playing long into, wow, you still do that? Yeah, they try to make it to where we can all play.
Okay. I have a couple other questions, but what is happening is I'm losing my Wi-Fi, so I'm going to take off video. Your Grace, is that going to be okay for me to shut off my video so I can continue?
That's fine. That's fine, Kalina.
Problem tonight. That's all right. We'll make it work. No big deal. No big deal.
We are the SCA. We adapt.
Hey, how many virtual events during the pandemic?
Yeah.
At this.
Kalina, would you like me to continue the last couple of questions? Well, I believe I know what her questions was going to be, because we both got an email from some populace members. And so since she's having trouble with her internet, I'm going to lead into those. Okay.
Thank you, Your Grace.
So couple number, I don't even remember where she was. Couple number one. How would you ensure that members are recognized for their service or expertise in their chosen fields?
Well, our main avenue for doing that is we do have an arts award. We have the Forest Light. Now, we only give those once, or at least traditionally in the barony, we only give those once. I know that other baronies have, it's like a thistle. You can get one in this and one in that and one in the other thing. but we can also make sure that we are seeing what's happening and we are also writing recommendations. One of the number one jobs of your landed who are there and who are assumed to be experienced with the group and how the SCA works is we need to be there to see. We need to support our people. We need to make sure that we are writing award recommendations in plenty of time and with enough detail that the Crown is happy to come to our lands and give our people all of the awards because they know we're doing great things.
Another thing is to introduce people to masters and laurels, to allow them to have the apprenticeship so that they can get more recognized and more expert in their art. And then they have a voice on the circle that can help progress them through where they want to be. But as Baron and Baroness, our job is to make sure that we make the introductions, that we watch people's growth, that we encourage them, because like when they do the Laurel Prize tourney and that, you don't want to see just the latest thing they're working on. You want to see a body of work. You want to see their first work, because the progress that you see made is by these people are just phenomenal. Every time I walk through the Laurel's prize tourney or any other thing, I am amazed. I mean, who has silk caterpillars that they feed mulberry leaves and has also had a Purina has a silkworm chow. I had no idea they did. And so by doing that, they found out that the silkworm chow made inferior silk to the caterpillars that were fed on mulberry leaves. That's the kind of things that we find out that I love.
And that kind of thing you write award recs for, because what else can you do other than going, wow, a lot.
Thank you. Couple number 2, same question.
My belief is that, especially for the arts, that we need to encourage more activity in the arts. We have our arts night every night at practice, but I'd like to see more ongoing arts events that are not at practice on days when we're not having different practices. I would like to see personally, I would love to see an augmentation to the forest light. I've seen other baronies do this, where you may have your forest light, but then there's another step up beyond that, where, okay, you got a forest light for pottery, but you're doing something else. Let's augment that forest light and say, hey, you know what? They're doing this as well, because then you can keep an eye on them for recommending them for a Kingdom Award. Keep an eye on them for that particular work that they're doing. And just encourage. It's the one thing that, as a non-peer, yes, I can write you an award recommendation. Yeah, I can walk up to you and go, you know, you are doing such a great job. But as a peer, it means that much more to somebody to get that encouragement. And it's the one thing that I love about this. And just write those recommendations, keep doing it and keep recognizing them. And those little attaboys, those little pats on the back are probably the most important thing that we could do.
Yeah. Well, we hope not. Could you read the question again? Sorry about that.
Yes. How would you ensure that members are recognized for their service or expertise in their chosen fields?
Obviously, they're highlighting the fact that pay attention, watch the populace, keep an eye on who's doing what. Is great. At the arts, that's an easy one to do. I mean, you see what they're doing, what they're making. You have weavers. I myself am a potter, and I also cook. These are all things that you watch and keep an eye on. But also, not just the arts, but you also have people that are doing things who are fighters that are also doing things for the barony. I'm sorry. Oh, I thought I heard something. They do amazing things also for the kingdom and for the barony, helping people out, teaching, fighting, the art of, as Sean knows, the art of fencing. So when you see somebody doing and teaching and their particular skill, it needs to be, we need to take note of it, and also tell the populace, if you see something that I don't see, point it out to me. Let me know. Let us know that this is going on so that we can take care of it, and so that we can, if it's kingdom level award, let's get their name in there. Anybody can do it, but the more we do it, the better off that they're going to get an award for what they're doing. I'm sorry.
Monitoring the because I know sometimes people
Yes.
don't get recognized for an award that they should be recognized for because they don't realize that they weren't recognized for it. So
That makes
keeping an eye on the OP.
Yeah, that makes it kind of funny because, as a personal note, I was actually in the SCA for 10 years, I think, 10 years before I got my award of arms. Everything we do is stuff, and they assumed that we had our arms. And so that's something that we can't do. We can't assume that somebody has something. Ask. Find out from them. You can, I mean, direct them to the point. Do you have, this award? I notice what you're doing. What can I do for you? So, pretty much.
Okay, thank you. Are you back, Kalina, or do you want me to continue?
I'm back.
Okay.
We got it fixed. Thank you, Your Grace. 2 more questions. Another question for couple number 2. If a member needed to speak with you outside of a weekly practice, how would they be able to get in touch with you?
Well, that's okay. So our phone numbers are out there. They have been. If they don't know it, they're more than welcome to ask for that. Email us. Let us know that they want to meet up with us or talk with us. There's several venues that they can do it. If they're far enough away that they need to talk to us, we can do it with Zoom. Whatever. Well, no, Discord is, you have to find a private chat, right? Yeah. Forgive me if I don't know a lot about Discord, but that's just. But sorry, that's just one of the few things. They could even if it's like, say they know something's going on, but they want to do it privately, and they come up like during one of the weekly events, and they say, "Can I talk to you later on? Can we cover it?" Absolutely. Let's make a date and time. Give them access to what they need. I mean, you can't just blow them off. You can't just say, "Well, I don't have time. This is why we're doing it." As Sean so elegantly put, and Esme, they are there. We are there for the populace. Whether it's even if it's after an SCA event. And I'm sorry I got distracted by your cat.
So was I. I am very sorry.
Ooh, squirrel. So yeah, how do they get a hold of us? That's my phone is open all the time and it's on 24/7. So calling is not a problem. Texting, email, all those things are available.
I've been known to answer Discord, Facebook Messenger, even at work, unless I'm in a meeting. If my phone flashes, I'll pick it up and glance at it and say, I can't talk right now. Let me get back to you as soon as I go on break. I don't answer the phone at work, but other than that, yeah, it's, I'm always available. We've gone out to dinner with people because they wanted to talk to us.
All right, thank you. Couple number 1.
real blurry.
I can be called. I am pretty sure that my phone number is out there in the kingdom with a very large number of people, because I have been called by people that I had no idea how they got my phone number. And that was fine, because again, it was part of what I was doing at the time. But yeah, I can be called, I can be texted. You can call me if you don't have my phone number. You can call me on Discord, or you can call me on Facebook, and that's actually been really helpful, as Facebook Messenger has a call function. And I can also be emailed, texted through Discord. I'm easy to get hold of, and because I work for myself, I have a lot of flexible time, and I can just go, okay, can I answer this now? And I'll answer text fast. I do this for clients too. And if we need to meet with somebody as close as we are to practice, we can go,
Yeah.
hey, you want to come over, you want to come over to our house, it's let's sit down and, have a soda and tell us about it. We can meet for dinner. There's a restaurant opened after practice just down the road. What can we do? Tell us what you need.
We also, I mean, you reach me mainly through Facebook Messenger. I'm on Discord occasionally. I've made a specific SCA email, because I don't want to get your email lost with all my other email coming into work. So SeanTaber@gmail is what we're going to work to. Also, again, texting works really well for me. I can check texts in between patients and that sort of stuff. And because we have our own practices, we're able to be a little flexible on that. So we can be there for the populace as they need us. And we're happy to do that. I mean, this is our home.
Thank you. All right. Couple number one, last question. If you are not chosen, will you still be supporting the other candidates?
Of course.
This is our home. We're not going anywhere.
Yeah, we're going to do the same thing we've been doing. We're going to be going to practice. I'm going to be teaching rapier.
This is where my music people are. This is where the band that I'm really trying to have, a dance band that we have made out of people we've got in the Barony. This is where we play. Where would we go? Why would we go?
You need a bass in your singing group. Oh. Sorry.
Thank you. Couple number two.
We're not going anywhere. We found our home in Steps. We don't have anybody we have to worry about going back to Kaid for, because they're dying, which is what happened last time. Yeah,
that's all that. Okay, so if you're chosen, fantastic, great. You got my back. You got my support. No, I've got your back. Give you my support. Absolutely, 100%. And also, being that I'm catching up on all my pottery stuff, trying to, should they become Baron and Baroness, I will be more than happy to make largesse.
Yeah, so you know where largesse is coming from.
So
Awesome.
So yeah, absolutely not a problem whatsoever.
Matter of fact, you know where Entourage is coming from.
Besides, when I come in for an appointment to have my neck adjusted, I want to make sure it's not, oh, what happened?
Oh, please.
Yeah.
I know it. It's the dark
if he
side.
hasn't killed me, he's not going to kill you.
Welcome to my dark side.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your answers and your time and being candid. Thank you. Your Grace?
Thank you, Your Excellency, for all the questions and handling those. I want to thank both sets of candidates. You all did a wonderful job with the Q&A session. I will be opening after this session is over. There will be a polling, an online polling that I will post, and I'll post it out on the Kingdom of Ansteorra, and I will put it in the email also. But the polling is giving your opinion as a populace member of who you would like the next B&B or landed nobility to be. And it's in a ranking system, 1 or 2. You would mark 1 or 2 beside their names that's listed. Opposed is also there. If you have any comments or questions, concerns, anything, feel free to email their majesties at sovereign@crown.ansteorra.org and consort@crown.ansteorra.org. They would be welcoming any comments to help them in making their decision, but the decision will be up to them, and the polling results will go strictly to them. So it is not a public, the results is not shown publicly, but I hope you all have a good evening, and thank you all for spending the time. And I look forward to seeing, I know steps will be in wonderful hands with whichever couple is chosen. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
You too.
Good night, y'all. Thank you.
Night.
We got 15 minutes. We can get to practice. Oh.